How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another SDF Bros video. Carlos, this episode, I think we got to give a little pow pow to a lot of people, individuals, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, we kind of took a break last podcast.
Yeah, we took a little hiatus a little
So
bit.
this is gonna be twofold because I think we're angry from both.
Oh yeah. But how are you doing?
A little not great because of this. Yeah, whatever. But everything else is going kind of cool.
Good. Guys, if you guys are new here, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys check out links in the description below. Instagram, TikTok, all the works, SoFly hats, norte.mx. And I just want to get into this one.
Yeah,
I just
same.
want to get into this. I've been holding my tongue for a long time. But let's start off with the starting 11. It was kind of weird because on the apps that we used, right? I used One Football.
Yeah.
It got the lineup wrong. So then when we were actually in the stadium, we got a whole different lineup. But starting 11 was once again changed around, but I think for the better.
I think way for the better.
Zamble getting his starting debut up top with Morgan at striker down the middle and then Dreyer on the right. Midfield gets back to that core three of Godoy, Yepe, Valakari. And then our back four with Duran and Net, Bombino, Sue, McVeigh, and Verhoeven. McVeigh coming back from his red card suspension versus San Jose. Comes back in here, and we'll get into that and more.
Can't wait.
I want to talk about the Bombino goal because that's kind of the first action of the game, and then we'll kind of, swiftly move on. But
Swiftly.
but SDFC out the gate, we're actually looking pretty good. Like, it was a vast improvement from these last couple games where we were maybe a little bit sluggish, maybe we were just a little bit lackluster, right? Where we didn't have like that bite to us, and we were doing really well. Morgan with a nice little run, and he puts in a cross in the path of Bombino, who hits probably one of the best goals that we've scored, and it was actually the 100th goal of San Diego FC's very short history. Let's talk about the goal for Bombino, and then I want your thoughts on Morgan, because I didn't think he was actually bad in this game. I liked him down the middle.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I just want to start like this team completely bamboozled us because the way that they start off on that kickoff is like they are about to go to war to win this game. And I mean, completely different thing as the game proceeds to go. But I mean, that kickoff, they are on full just full attack. It felt like they're not even, nobody's even that far back. It looks like they were ready to just be playing up the whole entire time. Things change. But that Bombino goal comes off of a great attacking 15 minutes from SDFC. Just looked like 8 minutes. Yeah,
8 minutes.
Just looks like they're gonna be unbeatable this game or unplayable. Something that we haven't seen in a while. And of course, Bombino just scores a worldly. You know, and again, it's not every day that a left back that does that, and so you don't need a left back to be doing that. But it just adds to his resume. And I mean, it couldn't have been better, and it could have been given to a better player to be scoring the 100th goal than Luca Bombino. And I think, we were talking about this earlier, and again, I think there's key three players who I think would really like die for this badge or, put their all for this team, and Bombino is on that list at just 18 years old. So,
Yeah, definitely. I 100% agree. Like that first opening, I'll say 10 minutes or so, we were second to none. It really looked like we were on the money. We were really sharp, right? And it's just everything was kind of working out for us.
Yeah, clicking.
For me, though, there was a lot of really missed opportunities in this game, right? Specifically, Valakari had a couple chances that you got to be putting it away. Because once you go 2-0, then I think it really kind of separates you. And then maybe you can play a lot more free, maybe a lot more confidently. And for me, it's it's not a lot of times where SDFC kind of misses golden chances like that. It's I feel like we used to be the San Diego of the old, where it's we just put our foot on your neck and we don't let you breathe. You know what I mean? Where it's now it's I feel like we're scared to take these chances. We're almost looking for an easier pass to just get a tap in. And it was really frustrating because Valakari had a couple chances like that, right? I think it was almost directly after that Bombino goal. We could have made it 2-0. And then at that point, Minnesota made it 1-1 at the 15th. But then if you score before, you're up 2-0. And then Minnesota, maybe their confidence starts to go a little bit lower and everything like that. And at that point, it's just a mental game.
Yeah, no, look, I don't care if it's to make us 1 up, 2 up, 3 up, 4 up, 5, 6 up. I don't care if it's going to be our 10th goal. You need to score those goals. I'm so sorry. You're paid a good amount of money to be scoring a goal right in front of the keeper like that, especially with a keeper that wasn't really looking like he was prepared to get that save or for that chance that was there. And just the way we missed, man. I mean, it's unfortunate, and I think it's just like you said, like there is just too much that is not the same as before, and it just you don't see the team pressuring each one another as much, going into it as much as before. And like I said, like you said, perfectly clear is like we need to be making those chances. And I say it a lot in the vlog is every time we miss those, it's another opportunity for the team to score. And look what happened. Exactly, Minnesota comes back because those chances don't be given to you a lot. And I swear to God, the soccer gods love to punish a clearly missed chance. You
Oh,
know?
certainly. No, I 100% agree. And it's like going back to like these players need to be taking, or rather making each other accountable for like these opportunities. And it's like, I don't know if, he just underhit it or is just overthinking, but it's like we need to have like that confidence once again to put in chances like these, because it's like it's so clear that it's like moments like that really define a game. And it's like you're just asking a lot of questions on it. It's like, where is that bite? Where is that like that, like it feels like we're toothless
Yeah.
up top, and it's like we're not relentless as like we once were. But for me, this next topic that we're gonna get into, this was a topic for me where I was like okay with kind of like taking the back seat on, and it was the defense, because it's like I felt like we had our P's and Q's in order, we had our ducks in a line and everything like that, and I was confident going into this season with our defense. But it is so clear that I was wrong. I guess not. I felt like I kind of took that for granted, and now I said that we need to focus more on the attack, but I'm sit here talking about how bad our defense has been in these last couple games. And it's clear that Oswald So he's a liability.
Yeah.
And I'll say this for the record, right? We're playing right. We have our first choice center back in McVay. Dua is our second choice center back. He's not
Who
in.
should have never been a center back, by the
Who
way.
should have never been a center back.
We
but
luck out on that.
but we luck out on that. Ian Pilcher is unavailable, our third choice center back. So we're left with no choice but to put in our fourth string center back. So I don't want to like completely bag on Oswald to be like, oh, he needs to be like up to pace, when realistically he is the quality of our fourth choice center back.
I
I'll
agree.
say that
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
And it's like I feel like the expectation of him to just slot into this team and just automatically, click with everybody and, kind of have this already figured out at a young age as well. He's 18, 19 years old. I feel like we were spoiled when we had Manu Dua come in and he was just automatic, switched on, and he was already introduced in this style of play. Whereas I feel like we're kind of getting a reality check on how difficult it is to integrate these young players in a system like ours, but also to have him already be brought on board and to already have that communication with teammates and everything like that. And you saw the goal, the leading up to that goal, McVay had to make a foul for Oswald because he just wasn't in the right positioning. And I feel like that's like kind of also what we take for granted as well, is the chemistry between McVay and Dua, how they have like that understanding of where they're going to be at. So for me, the criticism on So is warranted, because I do think that he needs to be doing a lot better in these circumstances, and especially against an opposition like Minnesota, where respectfully, the goals they scored were trash. Absolutely terrible. Like, these were all preventable goals, respectfully. Like, I don't think that this needs to be something where it's like, oh, it's okay, like it's a great goal, whatever. No, these were garbage goals, and it's like they're so easily preventable. And I feel like if it's just one of those things where it's like we have the communication out the back, you have the awareness to have, or rather to see who's around you, what space, what time, whatever. That is a big issue for me, for Oswald.
Well, I think there's just one thing that I would disagree with you on. I think Oswald, you're right. I don't think the hate is warranted on him like that. I think he's also a very big scapegoat in all of this.
Sure.
There's a bigger issues underlining than just So, But the one thing I will say is, like, I think the system is easy to be plugged and played into. just not at the rate that it's at right now. You know,
There's
last season maybe it would have been different because we do have a bunch of players who are young who are able to come and fit in. So also, I think it's just one of the twofolds. You know, we're not playing at our very best, and the system isn't as easy digestible. And I think we'll get into what Yepe is saying as well too, to include in that one. And then second, I also think So needs to be playing at a better quality. Unfortunately, I think this is our one time where I think we can look at Tyler Heaps and be kind of like, what kind of was it, and what did you see coming from this player? Because realistically, he has a long way to go. Even if he is our fourth string, it's not like even Ian Pilchner could have been our third or our second.
If Ian was in this game, like I felt like we would have came away with 3
No,
points.
I agree with you too. But what I'm saying is, like, even Ian Pilchner is our second to could even be our third center back choice. He still is like not even miles. Like you know, like he's
light years
ahead of what we're seeing against.
Absolutely.
So I think it's like also at the same time, So is not to a really good level, and I think this is probably the first time where we can kind of look at Tyler Heaps and be like, what was the decision backing this? Because we haven't had to say that a lot, and I think this isn't like a panic button for him, but it is kind of just like, where are we going with the rest of this team, especially because this is our second season and we are having to be a little bit critical on who we're choosing, because these are going to be, we let go a lot of people last season.
Yeah.
So we are having to be critical on the choices that we are making for these new signings, because this is going to be our foundation essentially.
Right.
We lucked out last season where we had to rush to scramble, but now we're supposed to be building a foundation, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I think like with that, I think it's like we had a really great group of defenders
Exactly.
that kept each other accountable, right? We talk about letting go of Negri, right? How maybe was that the greatest choice in the world? Because it's like I feel like if Bambino gets injured, it's like
who's left?
we're cooked.
Right.
We're cooked if Bambino gets injured. You know, obviously I hope not. So you let go Negri. You let go Patty McNair, who was a great veteran experience, like loads and years of experience at the top level, Premier League player. We're talking a guy who played for Man United, Nottingham Forest in the Premier League and everything like that.
Still
and
has
you
enough
let
to
him
go to Hull City too, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. In the championship.
Yeah.
So it's like you look at that, and then you just kind of look at all the guys in the defense that we kind of let go, and you look at just our group of defenders, and I really look at Bombino as like probably our best defender, like by miles. And but like I'm just looking at like kind of the narratives that have been kind of pushing, and it's like people are saying, oh, McVay is a leader out the back, right? And we were kind of touching upon this yesterday a little bit off camera. I don't know where this narrative came from where McVay is a leader, where he's, you know, gonna keep these guys accountable and everything like that. Because it's like, for me, I feel like this lies on the goalkeeper. And as much as I love Duran and everything like that, I just don't think he has that leadership quality and that voice out the back to organize defenders.
Right. And I think the narrative comes in is just kind of like thrown on him because he's the oldest one. So you're just assuming like he's gonna be that Puyol, you know?
You're saying McVay.
McVay, yeah,
Right.
like that Puyol, that like
Ramos and
Ramos,
Chiellini,
yeah.
right.
Just because he's the older one,
Right.
you know, I think that narrative throws to him. But realistically, McVay never took it upon himself or has
Not at
ever
all.
come out to make a statement. I'm the one that's keeping this team in charge. Yes, does he have that ability and stuff? Yes, but we should not at all be throwing something at him that he does not need to have at all. You know what I'm saying? We're putting that on. I don't even know if Mikey Vadas is putting that on him. You know, and for us to sit there and be like, oh well, McVay needs to be stronger or to so. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a narrative that we don't need to be throwing at him because it's a far more than that. And again, that's just a kind of like a scapegoat situation. When I think you're right. I think what made our back line clear and as perfect as possible is we didn't really have a clear leader. Dos Santos or Cisniega were strong enough vocally to control that and be trusted upon. And the only thing that's I don't want to say like our faults fall on Duran, but I think at the same time it is so hard to be playing with a silent keeper, and that's what you do see with Duran. And it's not the fact that he's bad because he's great. It's just you have an 18-year-old telling other 18-year-olds what to do. Like you're not it's not helpful. It really isn't. And I understand like we talked about this off camera as well. It's like there is 100% like a reason to have older players on your team. And it is because they need to be what Coach Mikey Vadas would be. You know, there's a reason that there's not 18-year-old coaches. You know? Imagine if we just threw the 18-year-old coach. Like
That's
you
crazy.
couldn't do that. So it's like you have to you're essentially telling your goalkeeper, who's supposed to be holding that back line, to be a vocal person, and you can't do that. And I think that's the only thing that I have about Duran is that we're going to keep failing a little defensively because we don't.
You don't have an experienced goalkeeper, and I'll kind of take over this
Yeah.
a little bit. You look at some of the best clubs in the world, and you look at some of the best goalkeepers of all time: Buffon, Casillas, Keylor Navas, Neuer. What do they all have in common? Number one, they're all veteran goalkeepers with years and years of experience, and they're all leaders. They're all leaders. When I saw Cisniega in our goal, right, who's someone who's a lot older, has a lot of experience, and he's able to organize our defense. For versus Pumas, we conceded 1 goal. Granted, it was a bicycle kick, right? So that's a 1 in a million. But regardless of the fact is, you're looking at our defense with Cisniega versus Duran. I'm sorry. Like, I think I just felt way more secure with Cisniega in goal. And maybe people are going to, start pointing fingers. Oh, what about the game versus Dallas? What about this? What about that? For me, it's more so that these are, I think, just little blips. I feel like when you kind of look at the full picture and the full landscape of like what goalkeeper would I prefer out the back to kind of really organize our defense, I'm going to pick Cisniega because I don't think Duran has that ability to organize the defense. There's only, for me, like you don't really see young goalkeepers play. For me, the only outlier that there was, and I said this yesterday, is Donnarumma. Donnarumma made his debut at 16 years old playing for Milan as a starter. That is a 1 in a million. So the fact that I see Duran playing in these games and he's just not convincing for me. I'm sorry. Like, I love that he, San Diego, born and bred and everything like that. But I felt like Mikey Varas really should have put his foot down and be like, look, Cisniega is our starter. And I get he is injured and everything like that. Yeah.
So we don't know what's going to happen when he's...
Sure. When he's fit.
Fit. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
But I think, to your point, like, bar none, I choose Dos Santos more than Cisniega, respectfully, but he's injured as well too, so we don't have that option. But given Cisniega or Duran, it's not that Duran's a bad goalie, and I don't think that, but I think what a goalie does off the ball is just as important as what it does when he's trying to save a goal. Mm-hmm. And you just see a more confident San Diego side with a confident goalie. I hate to say like it's easy to just point that as maybe the scapegoat or the one thing that's wrong, but we won't know until we see a confident goalie in our back. And like I said, I don't know. I just see like the defense having to feel a little bit more shaky because they don't have that, like, I don't know. It just, for me,
the sense of security.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't think that they're not secure that Duran isn't going to save a goal. It's just, it's so much easier when you have a guiding voice in the back of your head, which is what a goalie should be doing.
I agree.
And I think just things have changed that way. Also, with everything else, like we'll get into it. Dua shouldn't be our saving grace either. McVeigh shouldn't be our saving grace. We shouldn't have to have both of them to be in this situation. And the fact that we are, it's an issue. Like, there's so much more issues than just the defense side, and I think we'll get into that as well too. But
yeah. So
oh wait, speaking of defense, I heard, and this is my take, what I heard some people were talking about. So, are we playing him next game or not? Everybody's injured.
We have no options.
Okay,
like,
somebody was bringing up putting Yepe.
No. I'm not even going to entertain that because if we don't have Yepe in the midfield...
I know, you lose so much. But you could go Soma, Velikari, and Godoy.
No, oh my God,
I'm just saying, but like, I mean, we're really, like, So is such a liability, though.
I understand. Like, it's just, for me, it's just like, I don't trust that midfield in that transition without Yepe in there because Yepe just gives you so much in the midfield, and maybe you can have Yepe play that Manu Dua role, but I mean, Manu's gonna be back next game.
Manu's gonna be back, but then who? It's gonna be So.
It's just, for me, how I see it. Like, if Manu was in the midfield, him and Yepe are the same exact player.
Right.
So for me, if you play Yepe at center back next to Manu, you're getting the same player. So it's like, for me, because it's like they both have great ball playing abilities. They're both really tall and, agile and everything like that. So, like, you can tell Manu is a midfielder playing in center back at times, because then he'll make those darting runs in the midfield and everything like that. But for me, I ain't even entertaining that. I'm gonna be real. Like, maybe that if that's like one of those where you're just throwing shit at a wall to see.
This would be like
sticks.
A perfect situation for one of our like youth academy players.
Oh my God, could you imagine?
Like, let's say they were old enough.
Yeah.
Like this would be like
No,
the
absolutely, because it's like at that point, it's like now, like you kind of need that depth.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the lack of depth is crazy.
Well, that'll help us out in the future. You know what I'm
Of
saying, for sure.
course,
But like,
we got to give it like 5 years.
yeah, but that'd be a sick moment right now
Yeah.
where it's like you went out on abroad to get somebody clearly not fitting the system, get that youth player to come in. But
Yeah. No, that'd be
let's just
dope.
hope Ian's
Yeah, I
healthy.
hope Ian's fit by next game because man, we need
It's just
him.
crazy to see how much miles ahead.
Like Ian is.
yeah.
And I feel like there was a lot of people that were maybe kind of like neglecting his ability a little bit. And it's like now you kind of see how important of a sub role he actually is.
Right.
Because in moments like this, so
Well, maybe you go Willie and then you put Verhoeven in center.
I don't know. Even then, like Verhoeven really doesn't convince me either.
Yeah, but it's way better than So.
I don't know. Really difficult. I mean, look, I'm glad I don't have to deal with those issues. That's a Mikey Vadas
Yeah.
problem. So, look, Mikey, if you're watching, good luck,
Okay,
my
enough
friend.
about the defense.
Well, I want to talk about the red card.
Oh, okay.
That's
yeah.
the elephant in
Yeah,
the room
okay,
here
yeah.
because we're talking about in the press conference. Oh, we need to look ourselves in the mirror and this, and this. Where's the discipline? Where's the discipline? And I know looking back at the foul and everything, it's literally the softest second yellow in the world. McVay clearly gets the ball first and everything like that. But for me, when you're on a yellow card, you have to play cautious. And for me, it's just the lack of, again, awareness, the lack of concentration. Like, what are we thinking here? Like, why is McVay even that high up to begin with? And it's like, for
Especially
me,
that early on.
and that early on as well, like what was it, 30 seconds in the second half?
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. Like the fact that like we're already making a challenge. Rather, we have to force ourselves to make a challenge like that in the beginning 30 seconds of the half. So for me, I did want to laugh at the boneheaded question in the press conference where the reporter said, "Do you want to appeal the red card?" Bro, who is giving these guys the media credentials?
No,
bro?
you're allowed to though. I was looking into it.
You can appeal a red
You
card.
can not appeal
A
it,
second
but
yellow.
you can't appeal it, but you can send it in for questioning on why.
Yeah, you could do that, but for me, an appeal is like to rescind the red
Yeah,
card.
okay.
And I know damn well that Donnie meant it like that.
Okay.
So, anyways, but
I don't
regardless,
know. Let's give him some what's it called?
some slack. Yeah, maybe I'm just being a little too harsh,
yeah.
but
I just like Mikey Vada's laugh at it. He's like, yeah, they don't really do that.
You
But
just feel like, bro, this idiot.
Yeah.
But anyways, what did you think about the red card?
I mean, look, I think it just falls on a really bad time that San Diego's coming in. Yes, I think all the other ones should have been smarter decisions from all of us. I think Manu Dua's like handball against Toluca also just not a very smart decision from a player, you know. Just that just shows the youngness of it and stuff. This one just, I think, I don't know. Like, yes, we have to talk about discipline and we have to talk about it because it's important, and it also adds to the other weeks of everything else that were very undisciplined actions. But this one's just really hard to kind of like me personally sit there and be like, okay, let's keep having the argument. Like it should have never been a red card at all. Should have never gone to that point. And I'll give slack to the defense on this one thing. But realistically, does that yellow card happen later on in the game? Maybe. Because McVay is on a yellow and we do lack discipline. So who knows if at a certain point that would have happened. I just think this is a really soft red for us to be sitting here and arguing. But I don't think that the game changes that much because of it. So
Yeah, and then I mean, you with that red card, you force your quality and Yepes Firskov to go back and play center back position. When again, I kind of touched upon it earlier. You see his best abilities come out when he's a 6, a deep line playmaker, someone who dictates the tempo and everything like that. And I feel like once you take him out of the equation, you make it difficult for yourself to win matches. And it's like this is gonna be like something that I'm always going to say is it's like you're never going to see San Diego FC win a game trailing with a red card.
of course.
Like you're never gonna see that. And it's like I feel like that Toluca game, I feel like that was our one game where it's like we cashed our check to win a game with red cards and everything like that. That was a one and done over.
I mean, look, I will say this. Minnesota doesn't start attacking us anymore, and we do get really close to scoring another goal.
We played good a second half.
We did play good, even with 10 men. I will say that. Like, at the end of the day, like, it wasn't a bad situation, but what I will always take out of it is, like, with 11 men, we are still losing. Like, we have to remember that. This game is lost already when we have 11 men going into that second half. And it's like, best case scenario is we come out with a tie anyways because we couldn't even really be scoring. So it's just like that's my issue with this team, that it's deeper, and I feel like these red cards are what it gives an excuse to Mikey Varas or gives an excuse to the fan base. But realistically, like, I don't know if we come out beating Minnesota, and I think it's a fair statement to say.
So here's where I'm gonna disagree with you, because it's like we're saying that San Diego FC played a great second half despite being 10 men. I feel like for me, I feel like by us self-sabotaging the game, it makes it seem like, and a part of that comes with arrogance, not playing smart, being erratic, not reading the game properly. And I feel like if we do have 11 men, I do think we go and win this game because of how great we played second half with 10 men.
I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you because I think it costs us so much to score a goal right now. And I think that's our biggest issue, is that it's costing us so much to score a goal. And we're not, Dreyer isn't the same Dreyer as last season. Not in a bad way. He's not, but he shifted his role differently.
Well, he can't.
He can't. That's the thing. He can't. His role has shifted drastically in this season, and so I don't see us scoring another 2 goals in this second half. And again, it comes back to the fact of the matter is, with 11 men, we are playing erratically. We're playing ridiculous. No ambition. No, like you said, Minnesota doesn't score cool goals. It doesn't come from a crazy breakaway. We are just playing terribly, realistically. Like, that is just what it was happening. And for me, I think that carries on. Yes, do I think we show glimpses of hope and, effort and maybe even getting a quality? It's just not dialed in yet. And I don't even think with 11 men we come back to win the game. Of course, I'm always going to hope for the best. I just didn't think that was going to happen.
Yeah, I'm just going to disagree, and I'll just kind of leave it at this, because it's like I feel like if we do have, or rather because we don't have 11 players, it forces us to play back. We can't play as high up.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
I feel like if we have McVay, it forces kind of Yeppe to kind of push up a little bit, and we've seen him multiple times put in a nice little ball or a nice little cross over the top for Dreyer.
I'm not disagreeing. Yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you that if we have a red card, we're not going to be able to do what we can do. My statement is that even with 11 players, we still couldn't do what you say we should have been doing. And this is not something that is brand new. Yes, we've had 3 red cards in the last thing, but it's just not there.
6 reds in the last 11 games.
It's just not happening. And that's my biggest thing.
Like, at that point, you're playing half of your games with 10 players. Of course, so it's like you can't expect SDFC to win.
Of course, I'm never expecting SDFC to win with 10, but I'm also wasn't going into the second half expecting SDFC to win either. And that's just because we're down 2-1.
Well, I was before the red card.
I wasn't.
I was like, okay, we're gonna, kind of reevaluate second half. We're gonna just dial in and lock in and everything like that. And I did feel the confidence. I felt like we were going to really push on and spur on, because Minnesota were not doing anything. I feel like we had them on the back foot even with 10 men. So I feel like if we did have 11, I feel like we maybe would have pressured them a little bit. But then that argument comes in: does
Minnesota is playing less attacking and more cautious because they know they're down 2. They know we're down a player and up 2. That could be the argument there as well. And I think that's a valid statement to say, is that maybe Minnesota allows more from San Diego FC because they play more conservative than what they were playing beforehand. And like I said, I don't think the team that we have right now can come back from a 2-1 loss, and we haven't shown that lately in this season. Mm-hmm. So it's just it's a big question mark for me, and we're not going to know until I think the game against LAFC, right? Because it's Real Salt Lake, and then who is it?
LAFC is our next home game.
No, well, it's RSL, and then who's next?
Houston.
So so we won't probably know until Houston, because that's when we'll hopefully have McVay and do it back to verify what's going to happen.
Oh my God, I hope.
Right, and that's when we'll know. But if we get another red card, then we're not. So it is a tough issue, and we don't really know how to go about it. But biggest thing is Dreyer can't be doing this alone. His whole role has shifted, and look at the end of the day, I do want Chucky back. I don't want this and that. The narrative is gone. I'm over it. You know what I'm saying? But people do make a great point. Chucky would take a defender away from Dreyer. There isn't a player that's doing that for Dreyer this season.
I think, again, it's like, you're not wrong. Like, we always said that last season, that Chucky takes away from the pressure on Dreyer. But it's like, for me, it's like with 10 men, that doesn't.
I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about it for the next. I'm talking about it for the next games.
Okay, so you're just talking about the next game. For me, it's like.
This is not one with Chucky. This game isn't one with Chucky.
No, it's like, for me, it's like, that. I think that's a fair, valid point. Like that's something like we definitely saw like last season. But it's like, respectfully, it's like we're not gonna go forward as a team if we keep bringing up this Chucky situation. Like Chucky is gone.
No, I
Chucky's
know. No,
gone.
I'm
Like
not.
people who are still hoping that he's gonna come back, everything like that. Oh, he brings this, and that. He's gone. He's not coming back. So it's like
I
for
mean,
me,
he can come back.
no, he's not coming back because it's I don't see the
I don't
club.
see it either, but
I
he
don't see the
could.
club like going back on like their word and everything
Neither
like
do I.
that.
But
it's
he
like
could,
for me,
in quotation marks.
he could, but it's not likely. So it's like for me, I want to find solutions with the players that we have like right now, and it's like for me, number one, you have to play defense. Like until this defense gets sorted out, we're not gonna win games. Because it's like again, it's like I would rather win our next 20 games 1-0 than 3-2, 4-5, like everything like
Look,
that. Like you're not gonna win games. That's not sufficient.
I'm gonna sit here and say this. I'm gonna sit here and say this. We aren't playing that great, with even with the all of our players at full.
So can I ask you a question? If we lock in defensively, do you think we'll see an improvement in the attack?
I think the issues are deeper than that.
All right, elaborate.
I think that this team as a whole has lost some hunger, some chemistry. I think they've lost chemistry within each other. Um, I think Mikey Vadas' decisions to be rotating everybody consistently makes it so chemistry is harder to build within one another. We consistently, like, it's crazy to me that I'm going into a game and I'm like, I wonder what the lineup is today. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
For anything. Maybe some small changes here and there, yes. But if I'm confused as a team, I can't imagine the chemistry that's being built in that. And I think that is what is hurting this team, is we do not have a consistent amount of players or anything. And last season we were forced to be playing with the players that we had. There wasn't this many changes, and it was like, okay, we're gonna learn through defeat together. But how do you expect Dreyer to feel confident in his midfield when it's changing the next week and week out? How do I look at somebody and say, hey, we'll get him next week, if I don't even know if you're gonna be playing with me next week?
Yeah.
And that is what's causing these issues in this team, along with the red card and everything. But right now, and I think Yepe says it best in the interview, this team isn't meshing the same way that it was before. And also, I think when you have a team, when you have a certain lineup that you're going to be doing day in and out, it forces the subs to try harder, because I got to impress him in some way. I have to be so good that right now it just seems if I can score 2 goals in one game, I might have the ability to play.
I agree.
And that's my issue, is that I don't think it's just the defense. I think it's a deeper rooted issue, and it showed right after that Dallas game. It showed right after that Dallas game. And from that moment on, it has continued to snowball. And it's like, instead of Mikey Body says that we got to get back to basics. We should have gotten back to basics after the Toluca game. And what happens? Let's put Vasquez in.
Yeah.
It's like we're
Because
not
he had respectfully, he had one good game versus
again,
Toluca.
and that's what I'm saying. And that's not bad at any of these players. Like, I don't get me wrong, but we are not back to basics.
No, for me, it's like I don't have a problem with Vasquez playing, but for me, he needs to show that across 5 games, 6 games, not just
Exactly.
one game. Because for me, it's like, again, and I 100% agree with you, because it does hurt the chemistry of that team, and it forces us to play a lot more differently if you have a Vasquez compared to a Godoy or a Valakari or anything.
Well, no, I think 1, 2. Vasquez needs to play great 5 games, and whoever he's replacing has to play terrible.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just that. You know what I'm saying? It's not just Vasquez plays amazing, he's earned his spot. No, the other player has to be playing bad too for you to be like, let me remove his thing. And again, it's like, how can I have a okay bad game, you know what I'm saying, and then fix it for next game and dial in on it if I might lose my spot? How are we as a team supposed to mesh? Hey, you know what? I should have done that better next. I got it. Let me look. And if this is consistently rotating every single time.
Also, I feel like it makes the players kind of play a lot more erratically because they're scared to make a mistake. Because if they feel like, oh, like I make a mistake, then I'm on the hot seat and someone else is going to take my place. Where, yeah, that's good to have, but to constantly play like under that, I don't want to say fear, but for lack of a better term, when you have to play like that, you're prone to gonna make more mistakes.
Exactly, and I think that adds to it, and I think that's where my deep-rooted issue is.
I agree.
And it started from Duran, and then it went to I don't. It's just spiraled into I don't know what. And obviously, our back line should have been better. And
I think with the back line, we're suffering from injuries right now.
And so we're not subbing them out. You know what I'm saying? Mike
Yeah.
Brown isn't making poor decisions there, but it is changing it every single day because we're affected by the red cards and the injuries.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yes, but then also we talk about our attack, and it's like that's also changing. Like again, that's also changing. Like if we're gonna go with Vartan, stick with fucking Vartan. Like I don't personally think that he should be our striker. I don't think he should be. But again, to be like. Vartan was playing striker, and then now we're like, oh, we'll just throw in Morgan. Like,
So,
we can't change these things.
I'm gonna give you a stat. So Ingvartsen and Dreyer are the 4th highest scoring duo in MLS, combined for 7 goals and 5 assists. Why are you putting in Morgan if Morgan has 1 assist and that was the last game? When it's clear that Ingvartsen and Dreyer have that chemistry.
No, that's exactly my statement. It's like, I might not like the player. I might not agree with the style. If we're getting consistent, stay consistent.
Yeah.
That is it. And we cannot expect things to change if we continue to... In Vartan, I do like Morgan, and we didn't really talk on that. He was playing great. But I'd rather in Vartan in this game to stay consistent. Like we need, if we're going to continue this journey, we have to continue it together, and that's how we feel more secure and united. But you can't be expecting all of this to just be like replaced by just playing players left and right.
Yeah.
And that's my biggest takeaway, and that's why I don't think we come back and win the game regardless.
Right.
It's just there's a lot.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think a lot of this kind of the gravity of SDFC right now, I think, lies on just us constantly rotating, and it's just not good for chemistry, and we can't build on that. So I 100% agree on that.
Solutions, back to basics.
Solutions, back to basics. Like, I think you have to go. Like, I mean, look, I think I would love Pellegrino to be back, because I think this Pellegrino injury is, I think, opening up a lot of people's eyes to be like, no, look how important Pellegrino actually is.
No, of course,
us.
yeah.
Because I think when we have a front 3 of Pellegrino, Ingvartsen, Dreyer, number one, that's a lot of experience up top. You know, you're talking about everybody bar Dreyer, who's 27. Everybody else is above the age of 30. So it's like you have that experience up there, and they know kind of how to read the game and everything like that. Not saying that I don't want to see Zomble, because I think he was a great little addition. I thought he had some great opportunities.
It's just you can see he's gassed.
Yeah,
you know?
he's definitely still young. And I think, like, with the Pellegrino injury, again, I think Mikey Varas kind of has his hands tied behind his back, because now he's kind of forced to play Zomble in place of Pellegrino.
I would have just gone Morgan. I don't know.
I don't think Morgan is good at left wing. I think he was a lot more effective in this game down the middle.
I agree too, but again to my statement, you risk losing that Ingvartsen and Dreyer connection, and
then at that point, I'm just playing Ingvartsen as striker.
Yeah,
Zomble, Ingvartsen, Dreyer.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the consistency for me is what is lacking in all of this.
Yeah.
And again, it forces us to not be able to make up for our mistakes. Like, let's say we have a bad game. Okay, let's all get together, the group that knows they're going to be playing, and let's figure out our decisions. But now we can put blame on everybody at this point.
Yeah. No.
And it's how much it's harder to plug up a boat with one hole than to plug up a boat with many holes. And that's exactly like, if we're playing consistently all the time and we're losing, okay, it's you. Let me take you out. When I'm rotating and subbing everybody, who the fuck is the culprit at this point?
No, yeah, definitely. 100% agree. But guys, let us know what you think in the comment section below. What do you guys think about these last couple games for SDFC? Are you at that point where are you hitting the panic button right now? Are you kind of just like trust the process and we'll get back to winning ways? I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. What do you
Shout out to the one guy we interviewed for our video. He did say, I was like, if we lose tonight, are you hitting the panic button? Yeah. And he commented on the video. He goes, I guess I'm hitting the panic button now. So
yeah, that was funny. W comment. But guys, let us know what you think in the comment section below. Anything else to add?
Look, I think we as fans, and I think in attendance as well, it shows we're kind of going through that, and talking to a lot of fans, we're kind of going through that like San Diego mentality where it's like we just want a winning team, so please give it to us. And if we're not getting that, then we know it's like almost taking out all the chips and being like, oh, I'm too scared, because I know what it means to invest in these teams. But look, I do believe that we have a solution here. as long as that solution is made within these next 2 games, I think we can continue going forward. I know we've been saying it out for what 7 games now, 7 games, but just let it ride for 2 more. Just
Yeah, I'm on that wave right
just
now.
let it ride for
Yeah.
2 more. If we don't see anything changing, then
You're asking a lot of
we're gonna
questions.
be doing that. But that's it. Just these 2 more. Let us get back on our thing. I think this was a wake up call for everybody. But if we don't see changes being, and like I said, drastic changes being made this week on Saturday, then I'm good. You know, we'll get into it there. But just like let's keep the momentum going. Let's keep being hyped. Let's keep showing up. It is a little scary as San Diegan fans to put all our chips in on somebody or just trust in a team again when we've been disappointed so many times. But we'll get there. We'll get there. And like I said, just always don't give up.
Yeah.
Personally, soccer wise, whatever, just don't give up. Like we got to keep the faith as much as we can.
There you go. Couldn't even said that better myself, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys like, comment, subscribe, check us out. Links in the description below, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao, ragazzi.